morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully, you all had a good weekend. We are here to recap the Week 15 NFL slate. We also have two games tonight for Monday Night Football, so we'll talk about those at the end. I like when they do two Monday night games. If I'm being completely honest, I've said this a number of times, but I think that they should just do away with Thursday night football, except for there should be exceptions. Thanksgiving Day, you have football, but overall, for the majority of the season, do away with Thursday night, two Monday night games. Amazon, they paid for their Thursday night football. Amazon can have one of the Monday games, and ESPN can have the other. But I think it would be better product overall to get rid of Thursday, have two Monday games. So I like when there's two Monday games. One's at 8, one's at 8:30. So we'll talk about those at the end. But we're going to run through the games from yesterday. Overall, for me, good day in DFS again. Cash team on DraftKings did very well. Bad day betting. Both of Trey McBride, once again, tackled at the 1 yard line. You just can't make it up. This is like, do you guys remember Jacoby Myers? That was like a thing with Jacoby Myers for like 2 years. He couldn't score a touchdown. Now that's become Trey McBride. Tackled at the 1 yesterday. Brian Robinson tackled at the 1. I don't know what the Commanders were doing. They were inside. The Commanders one time had to kick a field goal inside the 5 because they were just dicking around instead of just giving the ball to Brian Robinson. And then 2 times they threw the ball from like the 3 yard line for touchdowns. Just super unfortunate run out there. He easily should have scored. That would have, I mean, even if just B-Rob scored, it would have been an okay betting day for me. But that on top of Trey McBride getting tackled at the 1, just super, super tilting. The only thing I got right yesterday was Eagles -5.5. That was like the only thing that I was really right on. But overall, DFS was good. So we can hopefully keep that up moving forward. All right, let's go game by game. Starting off, Chiefs-Browns. I mean, really not much to say here. Jerome Ford had he had 7 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. I think 70 of that came on one run. But Nick Chubb did break his foot, so that's noteworthy here. It'll be Jerome Ford for the rest of the season, leading the way for this Browns team. He'll be viable, I would say, for fantasy in like 12-team leagues. Definitely a flex option. Not sure about, a 10-team league or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, he'll have some value. As for the quarterback situation, Jameis Winston threw 3 picks. He got benched in the second half. I haven't seen whether or not they made comments on if that change is going to like hold true and like, are they just going to go to Dorian Thompson-Robinson for the rest of the season? That would be, I talked about this last week. Like if they go to DTR, that would be very bad for people that have Jerry Jeudy in fantasy. Jerry Jeudy's been almost a league winner, right? He's gone off the last few weeks. First round of the playoffs, he gets you 11 for 108. This would be affected, if they switch from Jameis Winston. So that's like my biggest takeaway to watch from this game. On the Chiefs side, I mean, it was more of the same here. I mean, they split their backfield. Xavier Worthy finally scored a touchdown. Travis Kelce, only 4 for 27, and probably that's probably going to be his last game ever in Cleveland. I'm surprised they didn't look to get him more involved. I mean, he did have 8 targets, but I thought that they would do maybe some more creative stuff to get him the ball. But yeah, that's my big takeaways there. Chiefs 13-1. I mean, it's looking like once again, you're going to have to go through Arrowhead if you want to get to the Super Bowl, which it's really tough to expect a team to do that at this point. Hopefully we get the Bills-Chiefs rematch, though. That would be awesome. Everyone knows, that famous game they played a few years ago. Hopefully we get the rematch. I think it'd be much better this time around versus some of the prior versions of the Bills the last few seasons. Bengals Titans, I mean, Will Levis is just terrible. Once again, got benched, threw 3 picks, created another meme. His ex-girlfriend was at the game. This is really just not what you want to see. If your ex-girlfriend comes to the game and you go 8 of 12 for 89 yards and 3 picks, that's just really not what we want to see out of the kid. Will, I expect a little bit better there. Tony Pollard, he scored early in the game, then he left due to injury. He came back. Tyjae Spears went crazy, 6 for 87 and a touchdown. I don't really know what to make of the Pollard injury stuff. We'll watch it this week. But yeah, that was my main takeaways there on the Titans side. On the Bengals side, I mean, Joe Burrow did kind of what he does. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Chase Brown continues to just dominate. T. Higgins had a good game. It was a homecoming game for him. Jamar Chase did his thing. Really no takeaways, though, from this game, other than I thought it was hilarious. Will Levis's ex-girlfriend was at the game, and he got benched for throwing 3 picks. I did see that clip of like Joe Burrow talking to Zach Taylor on the sideline. And he was saying, I don't really know what the context of that was. He was talking about how they suck, which they do. They're 6-8. So yeah, no big takeaways there. Commanders Saints. I mean, I already sounded off on this. I really don't know what the Commanders were doing. They were dominating this game. Saints went to Spencer Rattler and caught fire a little bit. He actually was able to move the ball as opposed to this guy, Jake Haener, man. I mean, you knew it was bad with that photo shoot, but yeah, I don't know what this guy was doing. 2.3 QBR. Nice, bro. MVS continues to lead the team in receiving with their injuries. Alvin Kamara got hurt. That's going to be a big one to watch, especially for fantasy. I mean, he really didn't do much yesterday, but he did, outside of that, he scored that one long touchdown. It was like a 29-yard touchdown, I think. Other than that, he really didn't do much. But that's a big piece, that you could lose in some of your leagues. On the Washington side, I'm just mad at them because, I don't know. Inside the 5-yard line, multiple times, you just don't give the ball to Brian Robinson. Unfortunate. Terry McLaurin could have had about 5 touchdowns in this game. He had 7 for 73 and 2, and he missed, Jaden Daniels just missed him on at least 2 more long ones. I mean, we could have got 9 for 204 game from Terry McLaurin. It was in the range of outcomes, which is pretty crazy. Go back. If you guys didn't watch that game, go back and watch some of the highlights. I'm talking narrow misses from Jane Daniels on 2 more long touchdowns to McLaurin. He could have had a monster game. Not that 7 for 73 and 2 is not a good game, but I mean, he could have went nuclear. Ravens Giants. I was right about Lamar yesterday. I mean, he was cover boy in the DFS article. He was 2% owned, went for 290 and 5 touchdowns. Ricky was in the chat yesterday on Sunday. He called the Rashad Bateman 2 touchdown game. That was pretty cool. I think he betted it was 18-1. But yeah, I was right on Lamar. Unfortunately for me, my Lamar teams in DFS, I had no good pieces around them. But it felt good. Hopefully, if you'd read my article, you played a Lamar team. 2% owned. He had a really, really big game on DraftKings. The Giants, I mean, they're just a disaster. I don't really know kind of what to say here. Malik Neighbors, though, 10 for 82 and 1. He had 14 targets. One of my preseason predictions was he was going to break the rookie receiving record for targets. This was a big game. I don't know if he can get there because he missed a couple games, but I'd have to double check. This was a huge game for me, though, because like I said, I made the playoffs in all my leagues and I have Neighbors on all my teams. So, getting that performance from him was huge. Derrick Henry, I mean, big letdown for people that rode him to the fantasy playoffs. 14 for 67, didn't even catch a pass. Unfortunate run out for Derrick Henry drafters there. Cowboys, Panthers. Panthers were favored. I think I said that in the chat yet, or not in the chat, but I think I said that on the stream yesterday that Cowboys were one of my favorite upset picks. I didn't end up betting it, but yeah, the Panthers just shouldn't be favored in football games. I don't know. It was the first time they were favored in like 36 games. They got smoked. Cooper Rush had a great game. That one touchdown he threw to, I think it was the one to Jalen Brooks was a really good play. It was either Jalen Brooks or Tolbert, one of those touchdown passes where he was like moving out of the pocket through it. That was a nice play. CD, huge game, 9 for 116 and 1. Kind of the CD game we've been waiting for. Rico Dowdle led the slate yesterday in rushing yards, 25 for 150. Somebody, I don't remember who, so whoever, I don't know, shout out to whoever tweeted this because I can't remember who said it, but I think it was since week 10, only Saquon has more rushing yards than Rico Dowdle, which is pretty interesting. He's been very, very good for fantasy down the stretch. Really bad game for Chuba here, but they were losing the whole game, so they really couldn't establish the run at all. Jalen Coker had a long touchdown. Wish that would have happened a few weeks ago when we played him in DFS, but I digress. Jets Jags. This game was awesome. Like really fun game here, 32-25. Aaron Rodgers went for almost 303. Devontae Adams, obviously 9 for 198 and 2 was the big game there. Garrett Wilson scored as well. So anyone that played Rodgers stuff in DFS was looking good. For season long, if you had Adams or Wilson, that was huge. And then Brian Thomas Jr., another guy that I have on a lot of my teams. I think Sandy in the chat yesterday was asking Jaden Reed or Brian Thomas. I said Brian Thomas, no question. 10 for 105 and 2 for BTJ. 14 targets. He's looking like, with no Ingram the rest of the way, BTJ could be league winner potential for sure. I don't know who. Let's see who the Jags play these next games. Oh, yeah, Raiders and Titans. Raiders and Titans. BTJ could be league winner status, I think. Dolphins, Texans. I don't know what the Dolphins were doing. Dolphins had multiple chances to win this game and just didn't. Once again, the Texans coming out of their bye week just didn't look great. I don't know. I don't know what it is. CJ Stroud, 18 for 26, 131 and 2. Both of them went to Nico Collins, but I mean, he only had 4 for 17, got bailed out by the 2 touchdowns. The team just doesn't look good. I don't know. I'm just not scared of the Houston Texans whatsoever. If I was in the AFC playoffs, let's see who they'd play right now. If I were like a team, I would want to play the Houston Texans. So right now, obviously, Chiefs have the bye at 13-1. Bills would play the Chargers. Steelers would play the Broncos. Oh, Ravens, Texans. Yeah, we would be, if we get Ravens, Texans playoff game, first and foremost, those teams play like next week or whatever it is on Christmas Day. So we're going to get a preview of that. But honestly, I hope the Ravens lose. I would be nuking the Ravens over the Texans in a playoff game right now. Just one would be one of my biggest bets of the year, I think. That would be a monster spot for me. So hopefully the Texans beat them on Christmas Day. That would be ideal, to be honest. Overall, though, Malik Washington saw his role grow a little bit with Odell Beckham gone. But the Dolphins didn't look good, and the Texans didn't look good. I don't know. This game kind of sucked. Colts Broncos was like a fun game. I don't know what that play. What was that play that the Colts drew up where they had Adonai Mitchell like threw it? Like it was like a trick play. He like tried to throw it back across to Anthony Richardson, and it was just an easy pick six for Nick Bonito. That was hilarious, dude. That play made no sense. Took way too long, and he just kind of like lofted it back. Didn't understand that. Broncos look pretty good for the playoffs right now, though. After this win, they're at 9-5. Then you have the Chargers at 8-6. Next closest are all these 6-8 teams. So yeah, looking pretty good for the Broncos. They should be pretty much locked and loaded here. Bo Nix did not play good for the majority of the game, but got it done. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that that trick play was hilarious. I don't know. I don't understand what they were trying to do. All right, we'll save this for last. So let's go Steelers Eagles next. I mean, yeah, I've told you guys, if you've been watching these streams, I've been saying it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. I'm just telling you this right now. The Philadelphia Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl, I think. They got their passing game going a little bit yesterday, which was to be expected after that whole kind of narrative about how the passing game sucked. 8 for 110 and 1 for A.J. Brown, 11 for 109 and 1 for Devonta Smith. It doesn't matter. They can beat you passing. They can beat you running with Saquon Barkley. Their defense looks elite. I think they're going. I think they're the best team in the NFC, and I think they're going back to the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens there. Steelers, they were kind of due for a bad game. We've been waiting for it. They also were missing George Pickens, which is a big piece for them on offense. You know, he does a lot for them, and just in terms of like the attention he draws. So yeah, like I said, I bet the Eagles -5.5 yesterday. That was like the one thing I got right. But yeah, I still think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. Patriots, Cardinals. If you would have told me, okay, here's how I'll paint this. If you would have told me yesterday in the morning, Bills, Eagles, Super Bowl will be okay. Yeah, that would be fun, I think. I would like that. Sass, do you think though, like, even though the Bills have been rolling and the Bills are the best team in football right now, 100%, you will get no pushback from me on that. Josh Allen on another level. I've always defended Josh Allen, even the years when he threw a lot of picks and people said he was overrated. I always defended Josh Allen. Anyone that has watched me can fact check that. But even with that, with how good he's playing and how good the Bills look, I still don't think I would pick them to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead in the AFC Championship game. So if you're in the chat, do you agree or disagree with me? Because there's just something. It's just, I don't know. Like I've said this countless times. The Chiefs, they just win games they shouldn't win. Like the teams couldn't look more different right now with how the Bills look and how the Chiefs look. But I still don't think. I hope you don't. I know. It's just like I can't. It's hard to like pick against them. But we'll see though. We'll see when that time comes. I really think the Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl, though. If I were ranking NFC teams right now, I would go Bills, or not Bills. I would go Eagles, Lions, Packers, and then Seahawks / Vikings for the next two spots. You could debate them, I think. Packers look good too, man. They do. They look very good. Anyways, back to my original point, though. If you told me yesterday morning that the Cardinals scored 30 points, I would have thought Kyler Murray had just a monster game. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It was James Conner, 16 for 110 and 2. Trey McBride had like one catch at halftime, still finished with 9 for 87. Like I said, got tackled at the 1. Just really unfortunate stuff there. Gonna have to bet him again next week now. Might have to make it a 2-unit play because it's like I got to get back to even on this Trey McBride stuff. Dropping that TD last week and then getting tackled at the 1 this week just really sent me to tilt. Yeah, Marv sucks. I'm willing to say it. I don't care. The guy's not good. This is one of the greatest heists of our generation. Marvin Harrison Jr. getting picked above Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Ladd McConkey. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm the one that always says don't overreact. These players are young. They need time to develop. No. That goes out the window when you get picked in the top 5 of the NFL draft. No. This dude, this needs to be addressed. I'm sorry. If there's anyone that says to wait on players and they can develop and don't rush them, it's me. When you get picked as high as he did, that gets thrown out the window, right? I see Giants fans complaining. I've seen Giants fans on Twitter complaining about Malik Neighbors, right? Malik Neighbors is going to finish with, what's he have? He's got 90 catches for 901 yards and 4 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors is going to finish with 100 catches in his rookie season for probably 1,000 yards and like 5 touchdowns. He's going to have like 100, 1,005. And I see Giants fans complaining about him. Imagine if they had drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., right? The guys put up what does Marv have? 47 for 687. He does have 7 touchdowns, but dude, this guy, we need to address this. We need to address this. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was going high in season long stats. I faded him. I don't have him on a single team. Yeah, I really. How could you draft Marvin Harrison over like Saquon, Jamar Chase? He probably went over Jamar Chase in some drafts. Justin Jefferson, like I don't know, the him getting drafted as high as he did, it's just an all-time heist. The guy didn't run. This is where things go out the window when you refuse to run at any sort of any workout. That concerns me, right? Jamar Chase didn't even play his last year at LSU. He opted out because of COVID, right? Jamar Chase opted out his last year at LSU. He still ran at the combine. I don't know if it was the combine or the LSU Pro Day, one of the two. I'm like 99% sure he still worked out and ran. Marvin Harrison Jr. got drafted top 5 just based off of his name alone because he went to Ohio State and his name was Marvin Harrison Jr. He never worked out for these teams at Ohio State's Pro Day, at the combine, anything. And I don't know, the Cardinals have to be concerned. I mean, he's easily 4th, maybe 5th in this rookie class for me right now. I may put Rome Odunze above him. He might be the 5th best receiver in this class right now because Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., McConkey, surefire picks over him. You could debate Marv versus Odunze if you want. But yeah, I don't know. It's sad for me to see as an Ohio State fan, but I kind of got the feelings like towards the end of last season, it was just weird vibes. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Maybe he will develop, over time, but you're just not awarded the same opportunity to take your time to develop when you get picked top 5 in the NFL draft. All right. All right. Bucks Chargers. Then we'll do Bills Lions. Bucks Chargers. I mean, this was obviously a fun game. Baker Mayfield, another huge game. 288-4. Bucky Irving, another big game, over 100 yards. Didn't find the end zone, but 15 for 117 will get it done. But my big takeaway from this game, huge for our boy Mike Evans, right? Big fan. You guys know that's probably my favorite of the last like 10 years and my time doing content. Mike Evans probably my favorite football player overall. He only needs to average in the 80s, I believe. I think it's like 83, 84 yards over the last 3 games to get that 1,000-yard streak. So I think he can do it. This was a huge game for him. So happy that they made that happen. So hopefully he can get that done and continue that 1,000-yard streak. Jalen McMillan continues to ascend. He looks very good. Lad McConkey, I mean, he had some bad drops at the end of that game last night, but, still did what he did, 5 for 58, scored a touchdown. Chargers, again, another team similar to the Steelers, like they were due for a loss, I feel. So nothing out of the ordinary there. Bills Lions, very good game, 48-42. Dan Campbell continues to be hyper aggressive, which I don't have a problem with. I know a lot of people, Lions fans in particular, I've seen complaining about it. I don't have a problem with it because that's kind of their philosophy, right? Every team has a team identity. And I feel like the team identity of the Detroit Lions is like, we're going to come out, we're going to play aggressive. And if it burns us, it burns us. But, we're not going to leave anything out on the field. So I don't really have a problem with the way he calls the game and stuff. Can that hurt them in the playoffs if he does stuff like that? Most certainly. We saw it at times last year in that game against San Fran. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't want to kill, I don't want to come at Dan Campbell as much as other people are. I think that's kind of just like a lazy take. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, it can be debated. More importantly, though, the Lions lost 2 more guys on defense. McNeil and Ali McNeil tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for the year. They had just got Carlton Davis back recently, and then now he's going to be out for an extended period of time as well. So, I mean, at some point, it's just too many defensive injuries for the Lions to overcome. And this is why I would probably bet against them in the playoffs. But we'll see kind of how their team looks once we get there. Big game for St. Brown, who was, if I had a mid-round first, if I had any pick after like the top 2 in my leagues this year, I just took St. Brown. So big game for me. I have him on a lot of my teams. It's first week of the playoffs. So getting that 14 for 201 was just huge for me there. I mean, Josh Allen locked up MVP. I feel like 2 more rushing touchdowns, 2 more passing. Lamar had a good game too, obviously, but I think Josh Allen probably locked up the win here. Amari Cooper didn't record a target. I don't know how the Bills scored 50 points and he doesn't even get a target. I don't really know what was going on with that. That was interesting. But yeah, I mean, this was a great game. I don't want to comment Dan Campbell as much as other people, but I do think it could maybe affect them in the playoffs. But more importantly for me, it's just the defensive injuries that they've suffered, I think, is what is going to be really tough to overcome. And then the night game here, Packers, Seahawks. Geno Smith got hurt. JSN had another big game. Geno Smith got hurt. Packers look great. I liked Seattle a little bit in that game, but yeah, the Packers look great. I'm not anti-Packers. I think they're the third best team in the NFC. So yeah, Jordan Love just looks surgical, man. They've been running the ball a ton, but when he needs to throw, he looks really good. Like, I'm really impressed with them. Overall, I think that we could get some really fun playoff scenarios here in the NFC. Let me see. For the NFC right now, we'd have Lions getting the bye, but man, with their D injuries, they're tied with the same record for the Eagles. Eagles could steal that bye week, so we'll see what happens there. But right now, the Lions are up there, so we'll say Lions get the bye. We'd have Eagles versus Commanders. I would take Philly there. We'd have Vikings Packers in the wild card round. That would be absolutely electric. I'd probably on the Packers there. And then Bucks Rams would be really fun too. I don't know. Might be on that one's tough. That'd be a really fun game as well. I don't know. I didn't see an update on Geno Smith. Hopefully he's okay. If he's out, I don't think they'll be making the playoffs, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure I didn't see like an update. I was pretty sure that like he's gonna be okay. But hopefully that's the case. Josh Jacobs, man, another huge game. 26 carries, 94 and a touchdown, 4 for 42 in the receiving game. Looking like a great fantasy pick there as well. I'm sure a lot of teams in the playoffs have him. Okay, and then we have 2 Monday night games tonight. I'll have my bets posted later. I'll have full breakdown coming up on the Rolling Insights blog. That's for free. rollinginsights.com. Go to the blog over there. You can check that out. I'll have a full breakdown of those games tonight. Both these early lean for me. I like Vikings to win, but 7 points feels like a lot. So I don't think I'm going to be laying that 7. Falcons -6 against Desmond Ridder. I'd probably lean Falcons even at the -6 there. I have zero faith in Desmond Ridder, to be honest with you. So I might lean Bears to cover, Vikings to win on the first one, and then Falcons to cover and win in the second one. I like TJ Hawkinson touchdown tonight for sure. I've been waiting for a spot to bet that. I think tonight is a good night. So I like TJ Hawkinson a little bit. And I like Drake London in the later game. But like I said, I'll have full breakdown on the Rolling Insights blog for free with touchdown picks in there this afternoon. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to me on Twitter. Also, if you guys have Discord, go join the Rolling Insights Discord. We're going to be launching it. We're kind of in a soft launch period, but we're going to be getting more active in there too. So if you guys want to reach out to me in the Discord, you can. Go on the website. There should be a link at the bottom. If you go to Rolling Insights, at the bottom where there's like social links, there's a link to the Discord there. So go join that Discord and you can reach out to me in there as well. good luck with your bets tonight. Good luck with your season long. If you need anything in these Monday night games, good luck to you. I'll be live tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll recap kind of what went on today, and then we've got some NBA probably and some college football playoff. We can talk that as well. Bowl games starting up. So, yeah, good luck tonight, and I'll see everybody tomorrow at 11.